Okay, I think my mic is working. Guten Morgen. Como talibou, how are you? Buenos días. Muy bien, muy bien. Oye. All right. All right. Let me mark the beginning here. All right. Good morning. Welcome to Forex.Today. The YouTube community of more than 20,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance because trading is risky. It's not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. There is a poll. What are you trading today? Please answer the poll. I appreciate your participation. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money cannot afford to lose. It's good to see the disclaimer and hear it too. Hey, good morning. My name is Wayne. I'm a trader. I'm an investor. I'm an economist. I'm a lover. I'm a sinner. Yeah, making my trades all night long. Yeah, so anyways, nice to have you here. Let's talk technicals. Let's talk fundamentals. We got a nice week. We got NVIDIA coming up. We have Jackson Hole coming up. There's some real estate stuff going on this week. Should be aight. So let me know how I can help. And I will do my best to serve you. I am a humble servant in our relationship. So let me know how I can serve you best. I do want to help. Otherwise, there's no point in doing these. So I do want to help. Yeah. Cool. So ask questions, get involved, treat each other with dignity and respect. Also, would you please click the thumbs up button? Would you do that, please? I think that's part of the algorithm that tells YouTube this is quality content. And that is my goal. This would be great if it was quality. I'm trying, baby. I'm trying. Thank you, kids. Thank you, Bruno. So I'd like to point you towards some resources that I think are important. Trader's Way, we all need a broker. I recommend them. This is the one broker I recommend. We all need a broker. You should check them out. I appreciate them. And of course, I believe that they have an ethical business model. I don't think they trade against you. I think they wake up in the morning and want to serve you best. That is unique in our business. Guess we can do Quant-in-a-Box. This is a service I own. It does macroeconomics, and it automates the whole thing for you. Yeah, it automates your macroeconomic research. So you know things like, bearishness in the stock market. That's very cool. Cool. What should I do now? Investor Boot Camp? It's where you can learn how to trade. You're going to learn things like price action, pivot points, right? Those are leading indicators. You can learn about lagging indicators. You can learn about macroeconomics. You can even learn about how to drill for oil. You know the difference between a heater treater and a vertical separator? Huh? People are going to play you for a fool no more. Yeah, the amazing whopping price for 88 hours of training is $88 a year. I'm trying to make it accessible. It used to be $1,000, but anyways. Oh, have you checked out TradePlans.ai? Here's how it works. Hey, welcome to TradePlans.ai, where you can get feedback on your trading idea in less than 3 seconds. You fill out the form, you hit submit, and our trade plans will already be in your email account. In fact, when you open it up, you will see that there's a trade plan for daily, for weekly, and monthly. And again, we can do this in less than 3 seconds. Whoa! You got to check it out. So those are the resources. I've also written a book. I've also made free training courses. Okay. Famous says, I have tried TradePlans.ai and you gave it an A+. That's pretty funny. TradePlans.A+. That's pretty cool. So check it out. The links to all those resources are in the description below the video, and there are other resources made available to you in the description. Okay, I am going to end the poll and see what's on your mind. You're always on my mind. No Bitcoin. No yen, like 18% yen, really? Wow. Okay. Gold, 29%, and then dollar. Dollar makes sense, but that little on the yen, huh? Well, we can take a look at the long-term indices. And you're not trading yen. Surprising. All right, cool. Let's take a look at the smaller time frame. Famous as oil, okay. Oh, and everyone welcoming me back from Cuba. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Can we look at euro yen? I'm sure we will. Yeah, it was a pretty amazing trip. It's funny what happens when, well, you got a good crew. But we were in a place, let's see if I can pull up a picture. We're in a place called Viñales in the countryside out west, where we had dinner. It was fairly late in the day. We had spent some time on a farm and talked to some locals. And let's see if I can get a picture. And we're packing up to leave, and I'm like, hey, can we have an opportunity to sit and have one last cigar? And he said, yeah, I guess so. Like, what kind of place do you want to go to? We're in the middle of nowhere. I'm trying to find a decent picture here. And I said, well, we're in these beautiful mountains. Like, incredible. It's one of the most beautiful places on earth. Cuba is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Anyway, so I'm like, well, I just want to sit, have it, enjoy one last cigar, and I just want to stare at the mountains. He's like, well, I know a cave. You can go to a cave and smoke a cigar. I'm like, Oh yeah, yeah, sure, yeah. I'd like, yeah, 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 yeah. I'd like to go to a giant cave, smoke a cigar. Yep, yep. So it's good, right? It's a good thing I asked. Anyways, that's why you always want to ask, right? Anyways, let's see if I can get you. So check this out. I took the picture. It's my buddy, my father, but look at the cave that we're in. You're like just hanging out. Oh my God! Yeah, yeah. Isn't that funny? Vanillas! Vanillas! Yeah, yeah. For sure. Now, anyway, so, what a beautiful, amazing place. So I got some killer pictures. I can't really show you, but let me show you my favorite picture that I took. See, there's the cow. And look at that, huh? Cuba, Cuba. I mean, look at that. Don't you want to, what's in there? What's down that path, huh? Anyways. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so I've been all over, did a bunch of things. Yeah, anyways, so I'll probably be heading back soon. But anyways, no, anyways, anywho, let's move on.com. But yeah, thank you for the well wishes. It's great to be back in capitalism. It's striking. I'm telling you, it's striking difference. Thuso says it looks beautiful. Cuba is very, very beautiful. Yeah. 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 I mean, people are when you travel around, right? Like when you're in Havana, it's just such a unique place. You're like, it's incredible, right? You're just like, whoa, so different. But then you leave the city and you go out to the countryside, whether you go to a beach or you go inland, right? That kind of thing. It's just incredible. The islands are always beautiful. I've been to a lot of places in the Caribbean. I wouldn't describe a lot of the Caribbean as beautiful. But Cuba is beautiful. Oh, yeah. All right. So anyways, moveon.com. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, the direction of the Japanese yen is very bearish. This is short term. And very few people are trading. Like, why are you not trading yen? But maybe we'll take a look at it. Meta, no. The answer to that would be no. Would I invest into a socialist country? Never. I was asked, and I politely said I was too busy. Yeah. I'm like, I'm too busy. Well, Meta, so my buddy that I brought with me was in Eastern Europe at the fall of the Berlin Wall and its transition from communist socialist to capitalist. So, Also, I did talk to some young, powerful Cubans, let's just say, very well connected young Cubans in their 20s and 30s, and they're very open-minded to a new way of doing business. and figure it's just a matter of time. And so I'm talking to the young, I'm not talking to people I'm not talking to men that are 75 years old. I'm talking to men that are 30 years old, right? That kind of stuff. And so I'm investing into the future of Cuba, Meta. And I brought someone that's seen it before and knows the risks and opportunities, right? So I got his eyes on the prize, as well as my own. All right. Anyway, so yen weakening, guys, and you're not trading it. So let's start there. Roger's like, dope! That's why I never copy and paste, right, Roger? Dope! Okay, so nobody wants to trade these. Okay. Roger. Roger's like, how do you delete a message? I realized I can delete it. So there you go. There you go, Roger. $3.3. Very cool. So what do we do here? What if, pray tell, what if we have decided to be bulls? I'm not saying you should be. You do you. But what if we were a bull? How would we play this? Well, bulls would have this as the buy price and this as the target. And along the way, you would buy, and maybe take profit on the short run. What do you think? Well, this pair is a dog. New Zealand dog. Kiwi dog. Okay? But that's, yeah. On a 1 hour chart, it's actually been bullish for an entire day. Huh. All right. Is there anything better? We could look. Well, Aussie's going to be about the same thing. How about Kitty Cad? Okay. Let's maybe zoom in here. Well, we'll stay out. Okay. What if you were a bull? Could you treat this as a bottom? Sure. That would make this the top, and I suppose that gets us basically roughly double top. Then we'd have to have a breach to the upside. Okay. So now what? Well, what if you were a bull and then you looked at what's happened already this month? Well, this plan, let's make this a little fatter so it's easier to see. Okay, this plan that somebody had is to go to here. So how possible do you think that is? So someone is going to treat this, we don't know how many people in the market, but someone's going to treat this as a bottom. By the way, that is support. Literally S1. Cool. Then, okay, we have an M2, which is the best buying pivot of the month of August. So you could treat this as a trend started at a double bottom at support, rallied up, then there was an August M2 kick. August target is 111. 111 with the trade starting at 106. My spidey senses tell me that's 500 pips. We're now at 108. So we're up 200 pips. And therefore, what would the trade plan be for the week? M2, R1, central pivot should be here for an M3. And then next week, maybe there to there. Huh? Angel says, how do I know that? How do I know what? Yeah, let me be more specific on how, so I know. Well, that's how you trade. If you're a bull and you use monthly pivot points, that's what the chart says. So don't get it mixed up with my opinion. I don't know anything. That's just what the pivot points say. That's just what the chart says. So I'm not Mozart. I'm just a highly trained musician who can read notes on a piece of paper. And I can tell you what the notes say is do 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 do. So I know that's not Mozart, that's Beethoven, but anyways. Do 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 yeah, it's just what it says. Okay. So this says that. Now, if you're unsure on how, go back and do the training course because it's massively, ridiculously important that you know that. Now, Roger, I'm not, okay, I know, okay, let's see. I know it at the same time as you, if you exchange with someone important before knowing. You're losing me, Roger. I don't know what you're talking about. Could you currently declare how much to let you know? Yeah, you're losing me. I'm not sure what you mean. But anyway, so guys, look, this is what it says if you're a bull. Now, I don't know the future, but that's from a bullish point of view using the tools on my chart. That's a bottom, that's a higher low, this is the target. Will people do that? I don't know what people are going to do, but that's just technical analysis. That's just what it says. Okay, so I'm helping you there. If you really don't know what I'm talking about, you pay the $88, make me filthy stinking rich so I can buy a jet plane and drink champagne with models on my yacht with your $88. And then you will learn how to trade properly for $88. Yeah. Technically and fundamentally. Okay. Cool. So that's interesting. Now, pound has been strong because its GDP is strong enough for the Bank of England to raise interest rates. Okay. You can see I have a similar plan on this one already highlighted, or highlight, from the past. And it says the same thing that I just showed you on the CAD yen. Okay, that's the target. Now the pound has been stronger than the CAD, so it's performed better. What's the target for the week, you say? Oh, well, okay, once again, it looks like this. That's the trade plan for the week if you're a bull. Okay. And Della's like, yeah, I want a yacht for $88. Yeah. Okay, no worry, but in front, did you know how to make me spend? I think we're having a language barrier, Roger. I have no idea what you're talking about. But keep at it, man. Keep at it. Chip away. Chip away. I have no idea what you're talking about. But I am patient until I'm not. So anyway, so this is, you know, a pretty basic swing trade plan, but this is into a target. Yeah. Yeah, you want to do some euro? Yeah, I'm happy to do euro. Let's go from this point of view. So using price action here, it's quite dangerous currently, but you can see top, 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 top. And you can see the angle when measuring the rise over the run is 0. D'Afrique, Groot. Okay, so you got to be careful, huh? There's a support line here and there's a double support line there. So I think that's what we need to be watching. Currently, the trend is still up when measuring volatility. Okay, so there's good volatility and bad volatility. Right now, it's okay from a good volatility, right? So we have it rising. So no reason to bail yet, but maybe lock in profit. But what I would think is plausible is if I were me, I would look for something like that. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's what I would look for if I were me. And I have my reasons because I've done my research. There's no guess. I'm not even looking at this chart. This chart is almost irrelevant. The chart is to help me decide at what time and at what price do I want to do what I want to do. And for those that look at this and then ask the chart what to do, you don't know what you're doing. This only solves my time and price issue. At what time do I want, and at what price will that be? Okay. Cool. Neato, right? So on the smaller time frames, it looks really choppy. On a higher time frame, all we did was reset off support, make a higher high, come down to the moving average. And as far as I'm concerned, I'll probably try to ride this for 16 weeks. Meanwhile, someone new to trading is trying to make 35 pips today. And they're not interested in 350 or 3,500. There's no alpha in 35 pips. 35 pips is volatility. So in this uptrend, you have days that look like this, and then like this, and then like that, and then like that, and then like that, and then it comes back, and then up. And you're trying to make an existence there, trying to eke out 35 pips, and you don't do things like buy it off of a moving average on a daily chart. Nope. Okay? And just look at patterns like this. No. No. You'd rather be stuck inside the volatility. Professional traders avoid volatility. Moses says 16 weeks. Yeah. You know, I don't actually know if it's 16 weeks, but probably. I have a more specific date. I was just throwing out like, it probably is 16 weeks. Pretty close. Okay. So at some point, a new trader says that they're not making money because they're only making 35 pips. And they can't do it very consistently. So to make real money, what they do is they increase their lot size. 35 pips. They can do that sometimes, right? And so what happens is it doesn't add up to any real money, so they jack up their lot size. Okay? And it's guaranteed poverty. Cool. So you're like, well, Wayne, how do you make more money if you can't increase the lot size? Well, make more pips. Well, how do you make more pips? Have better strategies, have better plans. A strategy isn't your technique for buying and selling. Your strategy is to know whether you're a buyer or a seller. Okay? Yeah, Frank's like, well, aren't we near the R2? Well, I need to play out sort of the quarterly strategy and see where it goes. Okay? Anthony, my strategy, my bias is based on seasonality. I'll answer it that way. Because if I just answer, then everybody stops thinking. So like Quant-in-a-Box shows you the bias. Like the whole idea of Quant-in-a-Box is it automates the macroeconomic research and pumps out a logical, intelligent bias based on fundamental analysis, technical analysis, market positioning, seasonality. Like, dude, I don't need to answer that. But you should develop your own bias, right? My bias is irrelevant, but I'm quite certain, Anthony, you would know what my bias is. But to me, it's dangerous to answer that in a public forum where most people just want me to tell them what to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know my approach. Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, you're saying to them. I got you, Anthony. Yeah, I knew you would know. And that's why I didn't answer it, right? So anyway, so good. We're kind of thinking the same, Anthony. Yeah. So anyways, yep. So this is a different chart as one moving average. Okay, all that kind of stuff. Remember this vertical line was the day I predicted the uptrend would stop moving. And today is the day, actually yesterday is the day that I expected the trend to continue. Can anybody confirm this? That first vertical line is the day I anticipated the uptrend to stop, and that yesterday was the day I anticipated the uptrend would continue. And not only are those two statements true, but I said that like 36 weeks ago. So, I don't know, kind of a coincidence that it was the same price. You notice that? It's the same price. Like exactly the same price. And I'm not even joking, to the exact day. Okay? I think that's Canada Day, is the top. And then the exact price on the exact day of the rally. It's exactly the same price to the pip. Exactly the same price. That's a grand slam. Well, maybe. I don't know about that. But, well, yeah, it's a hell of a coincidence anyways, huh? I mean, it is a coincidence, but maybe it's not a coincidence, but, right? So, but anyways, I do that stuff because I'm just trying to reinforce new traders to really pay attention, that they can up their game another level. But they have to stop doing the old stuff that they already know doesn't work. But you have to radically change the way you trade. Let me say that again for all the newer people that are newer to trading or are just running across me for the first time. Let me say it this way. You need to radically change the way you trade. You don't need a better system. You don't need a better indicator. You don't need more indicators. You need to radically change the way you trade. Okay. Well, this Roger guy's just babbling on about nothing, huh? Am I missing something? Totally misunderstand what you're saying, Roger. I don't know what you're doing. Let's take a look around the world. I've been around the world and I can't find my baby. Moses is scared about Bank of Japan intervention. I'll stop being scared. Why would they intervene? They're the ones making it weak. So, Moses, you have to understand why and, of course, what intervention does. Okay? The reason you have a stop loss is to prevent such a thing. So if you're like, let's say you're buying yen pairs and you're worried that the Bank of Japan's going to announce a change in yield curve policy, which is not intervention, by the way, then yeah, you have a stop loss. But also, when do they announce these things? Typically with a press conference, typically at a meeting. So know when the press conferences are, know when the meetings are, and then when you trade, have a stop loss. But you're like, it's like saying to me, I can't even think of an analogy. I was going to say, like, worried that I'm going to be hit by an asteroid. Well, that's not fair because the Bank of Japan surprising the world? No, that's not likely. But the Bank of Japan changing their yield curve policy is more likely than being hit by an asteroid. So Okay. Just kick him, Meta. Okay. So that's how you do it, Moses, is like, no, if it's not random, yeah, no, just kick him. Okay. If you know it's not random, that there are events in which a yield curve policy could change, then know when those events are. And you're like, how do you know? Go to the BOJ website and look at the calendar. Okay? Cool. And then you should be fine. And when you trade, use a stop loss, just in case, and you should be fine. Jim says, hey, I was rewatching swing trading videos, which were recorded years ago. And I mentioned the third week of August. Yeah. Like, for as long as I can remember, Jim, for, I don't know, certainly more than 10 years. Yeah. 15 years. I mean, as long as I've been trading. Yeah. AJ says, can you go back to the 4-hour Kiwi yen and show why you think that it's going up? It looks bearish to me. Okay, let me address that, AJ. Nothing on that chart made me think it was bullish. Okay? But I have 20 years of data that has nothing to do with the chart. I have 20 years of macroeconomic research. And also, Kiwi's got to be the worst dog with fleas. So if it goes up, it won't perform as well as something else. But most likely, based out of correlation, it'll go up. But there's nothing on the chart. The chart only tells you after it's become bullish. So you're like, but it's not bullish. It's bearish. Yeah, well, I predicted it would be bearish before it was bearish. I predicted it would be bearish when it was bullish. And now it's bearish. Now I think it's going to be bullish. Okay? But the chart? I mean, I love technical analysis. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a technical analysis hater. I'm a technical analysis lover. But it's a small part of trading. That just tells you the best price to enter and exit, but it doesn't tell you why. Does the chart on Kiwi yen tell you about bond yields at 4.36? No. Does it tell you about the Nvidia earnings report coming out later this week? No. Does it talk about Jackson Hole? No. No. But all those things do play into my thought process. Okay, AJ? So, no, I cannot go back and show you a Kiwi yen chart that says up. But maybe next week it'll look better to you. But I don't know what it's going to do. So my job is to know when to be ready, willing, and able to trade the birth of a new trend. But I have to know when those trends typically are born so that I can be ready, willing, and able to take it before it's happened. So I call that ambushing. I set up an ambush. So there's two ways to fight a war. Walk around until you find some bad guys and then engage into a battle. Well, in the best case scenario with that strategy, you have a fair fight. Okay. The other strategy is that you figure out where your enemy typically is, where they typically go, where they typically hang out, where they typically walk, where they typically drive. Okay? And then you prepare. They're not there yet. So you prepare. So you take the high ground, you set up cross positions, you set up booby traps. Sweet. Then you sit and you wait. And you wait, 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 and you wait. And then your enemy shows up. They're just kind of walking around, staring at space. Oh, boy, boy. And you fire for effect. You have the high ground. You have the cross positions. The whole place is booby-trapped. You have an unfair fight. And that's what I'm trying to do, AJ, is that through careful research and analysis, I sit and wait for the markets to change, and then I trade it. And that catches a lot of other people by surprise. Now, it doesn't always work for me, but it is my strategy to engage when I have an unfair advantage and to avoid a fight when I don't have that advantage. Okay? But so thank you for bringing that up. That's a cool question. Okay? So think of it this way, AJ. You look at it and go, 4-hour Kiwi yen looks bearish to you. Okay, well, what if in the next 4 days, AJ, it became bullish? First of all, would you still be a bear? But what if you were a bear and you're observing over the next 4 days some bullishness? If I told you 17 out of the last 20 years, this week, Kiwi yen goes up for the next, let's say, 2.5 months. Would that, and by the way, I'm not saying any of that is true. I'm just saying, what if I knew this information, AJ? That 17 out of 20 times, starting this week, bullishness shows up when the market is bearish. And when it does, or if it does, it lasts for 2.5 months. Would you change your behavior if you knew those statistics? Right. So let's just pretend I know something like that. Now, anybody that pays money for Quant-in-a-Box knows this for every single asset class out there. Every currency pair, they know this. When to be long and when to be short. It's just the average over 20 years. That's it. You don't have to be a rocket surgeon. But some people don't know that. They don't know the 5-year average. They don't know the 20-year. I do. Yeah. So if I know, there's two things. I know it shapes my behavior, and I also know it can be wrong. So I can't be dumb and just do what the machine tells me. Okay? Can you imagine the machine says, send out the nuclear missiles. Okay. Boom. Then it says, error. Oops. Okay. No, so it's just statistics that lead you to a process of probability. And you're like, well, it doesn't look bullish now, but there's a reasonable probability it turns bullish. Good. What would you do with that information? How do you make a decision? And I say, well, maybe this particular week, if it turns bullish, then maybe I take it. And if I take it, Maybe I ask for more than 35 pips. Maybe I go for 335 pips. Maybe I go for 3,000, 30,000, 3 million pips. I don't know. I have to make a decision. But knowing 20 years of data, maybe it's worth more than 35 pips. Maybe my trade is worth more, not because I took a bigger lot size, but because I did more research. Jacking up lot sizes is for fools, and fools and their money are easily departed. Instead, I focus on better research. Okay? Cool. Right on. And when I fight, I'd like to have an unfair advantage. Cool. Sorry. Long trip. Or long day. All right. Well, I guess that'll be it. That'll be it for today. If you're in investorbootcamp.com and have a live group membership, we will be meeting at 4 for a stop, look, and correct session. I think what we're trying to do, correct me if I'm wrong, let me know, because this is a communal decision. You know, I just came out of a communal society, right? A communal decision that Tuesdays I focus more on fundamentals, and then Thursdays I focus more on technicals. So if you guys want to do something like that, well, I'll be. We can do that. Okay? Okay? So like over the weekend, even though I was traveling in a foreign country with no internet or poor internet, I was able to read Goldman Sachs reports on things like wage growth. Well, that's how the Wayne do. So anyways, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. I'll see you when I see you. Thank you for being a subscriber to Forex.Today. Remember to look at the links in the description below the video. They're very important. And then click the thumbs up button. It'd be great if you left a comment and said, hey, yo, you know this kid? Okay, that'd be great. Without further ado, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Have a wonderful day. Cheers.